Okay, my sister, right, she's pregnant and she has this like perfect husband and all of that, and then we just find out that she just got promoted to partner at her firm, which is kind of surprising because she hasn't even been there that long. So it's like a really big deal, right? So my mom is like obviously very proud of her and very excited and wants to like have this little like party to celebrate, and plus like she roped me into planning my sister's baby shower. So I've just been sort of like trying to focus on all of this stuff and like trying not to let it bother me that like she's got all this stuff going on and like all these good things are happening for her, and I'm having to like help plan, and like I want to be happy for her, but I just it's just so much. And then of course, because all of these things are happening for my sister, my mom is like looking at me like, when are you gonna be successful? Like, when are you gonna do something with your life? And I'm like, I have a job, I went to school, like I'm trying, right? And so like it's just been like so, oh my God, it's just so much, and I feel like I can't do it anymore. Like I can't live like this. Like this is just, it's just been crazy. And my mom has just been like all up on my case about all of this stuff, and I'm like, what do you want from me? Like, I'm just trying to help you plan this party for Angie. Like, there's only so much I can do, right? Like, oh my, it's just, so she's just, I just feel like it's proving her point even more that like I'm a huge failure and a disappointment to the family, and that my sister is perfect and wonderful and everything amazing is happening for her in her life, and I'm just like not any of that. And I just, oh my God, I can't live like this anymore. Oh my God. So it's been a day for the past few days. It's been a lot.
Well, I gotta say first, I'm so sorry to hear that. I definitely can feel your frustration right now, for sure. And I think you have every right to feel frustrated, especially having those thoughts of feeling like you're not good enough, and having your mom almost feel like it's validating that.
I don't know. Now that I've like said it all out loud, I'm wondering if maybe I'm just making too big of a deal out of it, and it's really not that big of a deal. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, and like I don't know. Now that I've said it, it kind of seems stupid. I don't know.
So let's compare that a little bit. What's that like to hear it and then feel it at the same time?
I mean, I don't know, it's confusing. It's been stressful. I've been really stressed out, and I like want to do these good things for my sister, and I want to be able to celebrate what she has going on, but then like my mom's on my case about what I'm doing with my life, and I don't know, I keep thinking that maybe it's just because, you know, she loves me and she wants what's best for me, and like maybe I am like misinterpreting it, or maybe I am like making too big a deal out of what she's saying, but I don't know, it seems like sometimes it just feels like she just doesn't feel like I'm good enough, and that she's not proud of me or what I've done so far in life, and sometimes it feels like she's comparing me to Angie, and yeah, I don't know, it's just, I mean, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely to feel, especially that conflicting feeling of wanting to celebrate your sister and her accomplishments, but also feeling that extra weight coming from your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned that she's been getting on your case a lot. What has she been saying or doing?
There's just been these like little times where like, you know, she would ask me to come and help her like, you know, pick out invitations for the shower, or like help her, you know, come up with a guest list for the party to celebrate her promotion and stuff like that, and or like, you know, help Angie with her baby registry. And then, you know, I would see her and she would just like say just like sort of like little like, you know, she says it so casually, but like, you know, it's almost like pointed, like, oh, well, look at what Angie's doing with her, like look at her, you know, she got this, I'm just so proud of her. She got this promotion. She's doing so well, and like looking at me like, when are you gonna get a promotion? When are you gonna do something with your degree, or like, you know, get a better job?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can tell. And then, you know, it's just, I don't know, I feel like she's just, you know, it just feels like I'm being compared to my sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially now.
That is very frustrating. Yeah, especially having to not only be there to help out, like you were saying, but to continue to get that pressure put on you. It definitely doesn't seem like it's making you feel good at all whatsoever.
No. It's not. It doesn't feel good. It's been stressful for sure.
And it's making you feel like you can't go on like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot. And I just feel like I can't balance all of it. It feels overwhelming and frustrating.
Yeah. Very conflicting, frustrating, irritating, very much pressure on you when you're in this situation. So thinking bigger picture here, last time you were mentioning that there is an opportunity for you to move. Is that something that has come up in your mind at all?
I haven't had time to think about it. It's just sort of been like, I really haven't thought about it lately.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it right now.
Yeah.
It seems kind of scary.
Yeah, for sure. And I mentioned that just to see if maybe that was a thought of, you have so much pressure going on right here, maybe if you removed yourself from that, if that was a thought. So being that you said that you've been kind of preoccupied with other things, what are some of those thoughts that you've been having?
I guess I've just been trying to figure out like where I went wrong, and like what could I have done better? Like what can I do to make my mom proud of me? But at the same, I don't know, it just seems like moving is like such a big process, and that's overwhelming too, that it's like, I don't know, I like don't want to do that, because that seems scary. But yeah, I just have been sort of like, just trying to like, you know, put on a happy face for my sister, and like try to help with these parties and stuff, and like for her sake, because I mean it is a big accomplishment, and she's so excited about her baby coming, because I mean she's due in March, so you know it's only a few months away, so she's you know really looking forward to meeting her child, and I mean this promotion's like a really big deal, so yeah, I guess like I've been sort of trying to just focus on her and like not worrying about my own stuff, but at the same time like it's kind of hard to ignore when my mom's looking at me like, when are you going to do something with your life?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
So the conversations that you've had with your mom, have you ever brought up the fact that she makes you feel this way?
No, I usually don't really talk to her about like deep stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know how she would react to that. I don't know how she would take it. No, I don't know. I guess part of me thinks like, well, what if it's true and she actually does think that, and then I call her out on it, then what's she gonna do? So yeah, I haven't been able to talk to her about it.
Yeah. So, kind of going off of those responses there from your mom, saying if that is what she thinks, and if she tells you that, I guess you have kind of two options there. Either she says everything is true that you're thinking, or that she says that it's not true. So, how would that make you feel if she said they were true?
I mean, that would be pretty think maybe that's why part of the reason why I haven't tried to talk to her, because if it is true and she confirms it, like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that she's like doesn't think I'm doing anything like important with my life, or that she's not proud of me. So, yeah, I would hope it's not true, but it sure feels like it is sometimes with her, and I guess I don't really want to know for sure, just in case the answer is yes.
Yeah, which makes sense. No one likes to hear those kinds of things.
Especially not from your mom.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So going off of that a little further, being that she does say this is true, what would you kind of do after that?
I guess I'd have to figure it out. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to talk to her anymore, really. I feel like I would end up just not spending time with my family, or like talking to her much, if at all. Because, like, what's the point if she doesn't think that I'm living up to the family standard or whatever? Then, like, why should I be around them?
Absolutely. And it's the thought of your mom thinking you're not good enough, but you feel like you are living up to everything that you've tried doing. You're doing your best here.
I mean, I don't know. I maybe could be doing better in life, but I think I'm trying my best most of the time, at least.
And you know, sometimes if other people have opinions, as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day, sometimes that is enough. So do you think you're able to do that?
Yeah. I think I could do that. I mean, I am trying my best. A lot of this stuff is just like, I don't know how to like go about all of these different things, and I just sort of feel, I'm not sure what word I'm looking for, but like I do feel like I am trying my best. I guess I just want my best to be good enough for my mom, for my family.
You want that validation.
Yeah.
Which is reasonable, especially being that it's your mom, and you hope to get more support from her than what you have been receiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's flip this around a bit. So what if you did talk to her and she said all those things weren't true? What do you think your response would be after that?
I mean, I think that would be somewhat of a relief, that it's all just in my head, but at the same time I also feel like I would then have to talk to her about, like, well, I feel like this for a reason. This isn't like a new thing. So if it's not true, then maybe we need to figure out like how to communicate with each other in a way that doesn't make her feel disappointed in me, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if it's not true, then why do I feel like it is?
Yeah.
So I guess I would just, I mean, it'd be nice to know that I'm not a huge disappointment to my parents, but I don't want to be made to feel that I am.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like both scenarios, it kind of ends up with you kind of standing your ground and saying, yes, I have been doing my best, I have been trying. Why can't you see that almost?
I guess, yeah.
So I know when you came in, you were super, super frustrated. I see now it looks like kind of settled down a bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's definitely still bothering me.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot. It's overwhelming, and I think I just need time to like, process it all. But yeah, I think a little bit. It I guess it does, like help to let it out rather than just holding on to all of this like frustration and everything.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you were able to get it out. That's what you're here for, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. And I gotta say too, above it all, I know you're very frustrated about not feeling good enough, but just the fact that you're even able to come here and saying before that kind of maintaining your visits was a problem before, and every time you're coming here and you're on time, which is even better. So you're getting yourself to, my opinion, you're getting yourself to be a little bit more motivated and wanting to try and do better in different ways that you feel a little stuck and want to keep moving on from there.
Yeah.
So that's a plus for you.
That is true, yeah, because I was really not good at consistency with my appointments when I was in college. So yeah, I guess that is a win for me.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to think about it. Yeah.
There you go.
So I am doing my best.
Exactly.
I guess. Just gotta show my mom, I guess.
Yeah. And like you said too, if she says for whatever reason that everything that you've been feeling is true, like what you already said, you know your worth. So it's almost just telling her why you deserve her support. And at the end of the day, as long as you know that you're proud of yourself, just kind of hold on to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I still have some work to do, but I came to my appointment again.
Exactly. Awesome. So do you think when you leave here, do you think the thought of talking to your mom is something you would want to continue thinking about, or that's not something you want to do?
I don't know. It seems really kind of intimidating. I guess I could think about it. Think about how it could go. Maybe think about actually doing it. I don't know if I could actually go talk to her anytime soon, but I don't know. Maybe I can think about it.
Okay. I think that's definitely a good step in the direction, especially if this is something that has been weighing so heavily on you.
Yeah, I'll think about it for sure.
So moving forward, I know you said that you've been helping out with all the parties that are coming up. How do you see those situations or any further interactions that you have with your mom going?
I guess I sort of thought that, like, you know, once she found out about like Angie's promotion and everything, like I thought she would want to focus on her, but it's weird that it sort of turned her attention on me. So I would hope that we could actually just try to focus on Angie and like celebrating her. Even, I mean, it's really hard for me sometimes to celebrate somebody's accomplishments like that because I feel like I'm really far behind, but I still want to be happy for her, and I think she deserves to be recognized for it, right? Like, you know, because she did work really hard to get to partner, and it is a big deal. So I guess I just kind of hope that we can focus on her and try to just be happy for Angie and celebrate, you know, her and her you know, promotion and, you know, her new baby and the growth of her family. Because I don't know, I guess I just thought that that's like where my mom would put her focus is like on that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's sort of been like, I guess kind of weird and like surprising for me that she's like looking at me like, okay, when are you gonna do all this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, okay, what about her? I thought this was about her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess it's sort of been kind of surprising, I guess, for me.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. Now I will let you know we are coming close to time. And I think the progress I made even just through this session has been awesome. I gotta give you that, especially coming in very heated and now way more relaxed, especially even just like your posture right now and everything. So I think we have a really good place to start next time. Maybe figuring out if you want to speak with your mom, and now you kind of know what to expect when you go to those parties. If your mom does say something, maybe you do what you just said. Redirect the conversation to promote Angie and her successes rather than have the conversation be on something that's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll think about bringing this up to her.
Very good. Great. Well, I'm very proud of you today. I gotta say that. And I look forward to next week. Would next week same time, same day work? Sounds good. Okay.
That's good. It's worked so far, so may as well stick to it, I think.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Well, I will see you then.
Okay.
And I hope you have a way better week than you have.
Me too.
Last week. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm wishing the best for you.
Thanks.
All right, I'll walk you out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm back.
It's your normal self now.
Yeah. Oh, I had to leave the room. This is my direction. Like, leave the room, and then we'll come back in. Okay.
Awesome.
The clock. But what you can do together.
I know.
Oh, it's exciting.
I'm telling you, when we first walked in, I was like, oh my god. Every time you look down, I was like, where is it? Where is it? Where is
In a
it?
different room. I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Question for you. Was that 20 minutes or was that 15?
That was 20.
Okay, that's what I assumed. So if the ending was weird, that was why.
Yeah. So, right. And so for this moment, to kind of think about very specific questions to pose to your patient and get some feedback.
Yeah.
Just a few questions. So.
Awesome. I got them already.
There you go.
Did I
And I'm
look
gonna move the clock.
distracted?
I'm sure I did, so I didn't notice.
Okay.
Every time I looked at you, you were looking at me.
Okay.
So no, you didn't seem distracted.
Sweet.
At all.
I tried, I think, because I was planning to look at the clock, I think that distracted me at the beginning, and then but I was like, no, I have to listen. So I'm glad that it didn't come off like that.
Yeah. Well, and like I'm sort of like Brittany's sort of all over the place,
Yeah.
right? So I was sort of just like, you know, looking everywhere,
Yeah.
and like at you, but also just everywhere.
Yeah.
So like if you were looking for the clock, I definitely didn't.
Okay,
notice.
cool.
So yeah,
Worked
when
out
I
then.
looked at you, you were looking at me.
Okay, awesome. Because you came in with a problem that happened recently, was there anything that you wanted me to do that I didn't? Or like talk about?
I think like how sort of trying to replay everything in my head. I mean, I think you did a really great job of just sort of being here with this energy.
Yeah.
Because it's very different than what we've done so far.
Oh yeah, you shocked me. Good job.
That
was good acting.
Thank you. So, it's definitely like, you know, I mean, people get like this.
Oh, yeah.
I've had full on breakdowns in front of my therapist.
Uh-huh.
Virtually, it's like real awkward to do it with a camera, let me tell you. But like this is you know, the reality sometimes of it. And I think that you just being able to sit there and maintain your calm composure in the presence of that was really wonderful. I think, if anything, just maybe take the time to sort of break down, like, okay, what about, like, why are you feeling this way?
Yeah.
And I think you did that pretty well, but I think just making sure that we get, like, to each of those little pieces.
Like even more.
Yeah. Which, you know, if you have like a full hour or whatever, like you would be able to do. But yeah, just, I think that's really my only thing is just, for me, I was sort of like, wait, weren't we just talking about this other thing and now we're talking about this thing?
Yeah.
Which I do, and I know it's like a time constraint thing, but yeah, just, you know, make sure to give each piece its, you know, appropriate amount of time and focus.
Yeah.
But given the time that we had, I thought that you did that really well and kind of gave me like different options, like, okay, well, what if it is true, or, you know, what if, let's think about it from the other side, what if it's not. I thought that was really good. And just some of the questions that you ask, I think, are phenomenal, because it makes me really think about what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, and like what I can do with it, and what to do, like, while I'm actively in that. And it sort of like almost creates this like roadblock, metaphorically, obviously, for like, you know, we're going down this like rant. It's like, we have to stop and think about this, so it changes like the path. And I think that's really, really great that you can do that. You can ask those really thought-provoking questions to sort of redirect the energy and the focus. So yeah.
Sweet. I'm trying to think any other questions. Thinking. I felt like I asked more questions rather than like reflecting this time. Did it feel too much like question, or was it okay?
There were a lot of questions. I did appreciate you taking sort of these little breaks in between the questions to sort of validate the feelings and like confirm that you understand like what I'm, you know, saying and like what I'm feeling. I think if you do that, if you break them up, it feels a lot more like gentle and compassionate for me in the way that I am feeling, rather than just being like question, you know. Like, I think that actually works really well. So even if it does seem like too many questions, if you sort of like space them out and like leave breaks for like, you know, validating the feelings and trying to like understand where they're coming from, I think makes a big difference. And so it's not just like rapid fire.
Okay. And then something else I thought of. Towards the beginning, I felt like there was a lot of, it seemed like longer pauses, it probably wasn't even that long, where I either just like reflected real quick of something blatant that you said, or just like paraphrase, or had a pause. So the intent was to kind of let you cool down, so I wasn't throwing more things at you. Do you think that helped in any way, or do you think you would have liked something different?
I think they do help, because it gives me time to like think about all of the stuff that just came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And then like also, I think for me sometimes taking a second to think about how to answer the question, because again, like that roadblock, I have to figure out like where to redirect this. So I have to sort of formulate an answer in my head and think about why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, or whatever it is. So I think my brain just turned off. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, I forgot the question. The pauses at the beginning, like to kind of come down.
I think that actually does work. Don't make them too long.
Yeah.
Because then it gets awkward.
Yeah.
But I think having those little brief pauses
Mhm.
sort of helps bring things down.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that sometimes if it gets too long, it does get awkward, and then I'm like,
I should just turn down.
what do I do now?
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's just a brief pause to
Mhm.
sort of, I think probably maybe for both of us, just gather our thoughts
Yeah.
and like, you know, bring it down a little bit, I think is
Mhm.
really, really good.
Sweet. Great. I don't know if you have.
No, I think we're good. So thank you
Awesome.
so
Sure.
much.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
we'll,
absolutely.
come on, we'll switch out and bring you back out. Brittany,